Hi everybody, welcome to a fun-filled video here. It's been a little bit since I've done any sort of, long-form video at all. So I figured I'd do one. And what better to do than to start off with the cheapest welder that I could find on Amazon. And it turns out to be the smallest welder I could find on Amazon. Now this is a Simder ARC 120M. I believe the M stands for multi-process. See that little thing right there? Something plugs into there, and no, it's not a TIG gun. It's this. A hot stapler for plastic. So it does plastic welding. We're definitely going to try it. Now, in the box, first off, it comes with the welder. You get this sling, which I'm not going to use. You get the electrode holder, because this is a stick welding machine. The electrode holder is, for lack of a better word, cheap. And this is the ground clamp. Honestly, considering how much I paid for this machine, not too bad. Now, I paid $35.72, I think, for this machine, and it only runs on 120. So of course, we are going to plug it in and just go right to work and see how well it does and how long it lasts. So buckle up. This thing's going to be, well, I don't know how this is going to be. We're going to plug it, clamp it right down. Electrode holder is going to go in. Positive side. All right, let's fire this thing up. Now there's only one knob here for 120 amps. We're not going to do 120 amps today. All right, now we're going to start off 70 amps, and we're going to go with Blue Demon 6013 welding electrode, 3/32 diameter. I'm going to run on this piece that is up on my vise, and we'll run it for a little bit and see how steady the arc is. Got my Western Welder shirt. I got some new Western Welder stick gloves. These gloves are actually so nice that I could probably TIG weld with these pretty well. They got really good dexterity in them. So if you want to get a pair of gloves, or if you want to get a shirt like this, go to westernweldingoutfitters.com, use my code StickmanFab, and get 15% off. The 6013 is a little bit of a harder rod to run. It requires a little bit more amperage, but it's an easy starting rod. So we're going to start with that one first. It's a more common home use rod. Let's see what happens. Now, I've heard some pretty decent reviews on welding machines, and to be honest, welders are pretty basic things. This rod holder is terrible. I guess, what do you expect for 35 bucks? All right. I think this is a little optimistic. You know, okay. So the arc is very steady. That 70 amps is not 70 amps though. I'd be willing to bet that. I felt more like 50. Let's turn it up to 90. Now I know this circuit cannot take 90 amps on a machine, so if this stays running, that goes to show you this ain't no 90 amps. Let's go. Yeah, I'm going to venture to say that's about 20 amps off on the digital display. That's not too bad. They're definitely not the most accurate in the digital display. But, that being said, a good welder does not need a digital display. So, now, at this heat, at this amperage range, I'm going to just keep running 6013. I'm going to run a couple passes consistently and see if the weld itself kind of degrades over time, if the arc gets harder to control, or if I pop a breaker or that thing goes in a limp mode or something. And here we go. What the hell? That was weird. All right, that's probably closer to 80 amps. Oh, so 2.5 rods at 75, 80 amps or so. The efficiency starts getting bad, and it pops the breaker. Although look how hot that is, though. All right, let me go turn that back on. What I think's happening is that the output of this machine is probably right about 90 amps, but there's so much resistance between the transformer and the inverter and going through these little leads, which this thing's already kind of warm, and this stinger's already pretty warm. I think it's losing a lot of amperage as it goes through all this resistance. So I think it may be producing 90 amps at the output, but once it gets through all of its crap and resistance here, you're not getting 90 amps. You're getting closer to 75. That seems a little extreme to me, but that's what I tend to think is going on. Now, that's not to say this isn't a decent machine that works. It seems to work just fine. But when you start running 85, 90 amps, it doesn't really care for it too much. However, it still puts out a fairly decent weld. I mean, I'm pretty happy with that for that machine. That's not too bad. What I am going to do is I'm going to use some 6011, which takes a little bit less amperage to run in the first place. And I'm going to try and run 6011 on a step pattern. Now, for those of you who don't know, running a fast freeze rod on a little inverter machine like this, it is very tough on these machines. They have a hard time coping with it. There's a lot of stop starts, a lot of inconsistencies. So we're going to see how well it does with 6011. 6013 is easy to run. 6011's, well, not really. Let's see what we got. Boy, that doesn't sound right at all. I'll turn it up to 80. All right, I'm going to call that a no-go for 6011. 6011, it will not do well at all. I'm going to grab another piece of scrap plate. Now I'm going to grab the machine that I use for a lot of my fabrication. It is this Yes Welder YWM 211P. You guys heard me say it many times. So I'm going to run this machine 75 amps like I did the other one. Indicated. There we go. So right here, that first bead that I did, smooth, simple, right to the point. I did keep it small. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this $35 Amazon welder. And we're going to visualize the main differences, if there are any. There may not be. It certainly felt like there were there. That felt way smoother. Verify it right here. Okay. 6013 again. This one is with the S-Welder 211P. This one is with the Cinder Arc 120. You can clearly see a difference. I tried my best to drag both of these at the same speed of each other. And you can see this is nice and smooth. Arc amperage stayed the same the entire time. This one, I got surges. I got surges of power. It was not steady power, not as steady as I was hoping for. 6013 is a very smooth rod to run. Any basic machine should be able to run it no problem. The Cinder, for whatever reason, is getting this arc surging as you go. And that's not me doing it. You can check back and look at the footage. I'm not trying to step this thing. I'm not purposely trying to make this thing look bad. I'm doing my best to keep it as fair as possible. I am kind of rooting for this little thing because for $35 it gets a lot of people into welding. But it's not, there's something up. And I think I know what I want to try next. So would I recommend this welder to somebody learning to weld? Believe it or not, I would say yes. Now I would say that with an asterisk just because it can't run all the rods that I would like to run, such as 6011, but it is still something to get started in. It's good enough. So, if you've made it this far in the video, I would venture to say that you are somebody that is very interested in welding, maybe even looking to get started. Now on the Stickman Fab YouTube channel, I have the memberships. The memberships, now if you go on the Stickman Fab YouTube channel and go to memberships and become a live sessions member for $10 a month, I will teach you to weld from your own home. You can pick up a little welding machine like that to get started. $10 a month, I feel like it's really good value. I'm trying to make this a little bit bigger. That way we can do more things. And it is geared to people looking to weld in their own garage. Whether it's practicing for a career or just looking to get into the hobby to make things at home. This is an experience tailored to you. I have a direction in mind, but there's no curriculum set up, so whatever you guys want to see, you let me know and I can make it happen. The next date that I'm going to have a live session is Friday, February 7th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can also go back and see the previous videos and the previous episodes to review. Come February 7th, I'm going to do more with 6013 and with 7018 and show different positions, different ways to use this rod, and even show you a project that I'm working on that I have not released yet. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned for part 2 where I really put this thing to the test. And I'll see you later. And I can take the electrode holder, clamp it in like that, energize this whole thing. Now I got a TIG set up. I'll turn it up a little bit more. So far, so very good. I mean it.